Good morning. Let's start this day off. This is my apartment complex, and this is where we have our bikes. That's my hog right there. And I've got this little, what do you call it, canopy on there. It looks kind of funny, but I never have to wear rain gear anymore. And I don't get burnt by the sun like I used to. There's a little guy right down there that I see every morning sitting on my seat. See this hole here? Remind me to tell you the story about this hole here. That's the old hog right there. I'm about halfway to work right now, but before I go in there, I'm gonna take a little detour here to get myself a little bite to eat. Okay, the first thing I gotta do is bring up my health code to show this guy. And as that's being brought up, I gotta put on my mask. I'm just looking for my mask. I found it. All right, then I show him this. And then he takes my temperature. And then I walk through. So this is an impromptu shopping center. I call it impromptu because it's kind of just set in the middle of like a residential, heavy residential area here on Songshan Lake. Lots of traditional Chinese food here. That's mostly what it is. Shopping center kind of food. However, they're closed right now because it is the morning. And besides, I prefer a healthier choice of breakfast myself. So I'm gonna go to this vegan restaurant here and get myself a healthy breakfast. Here we are. I can choose English. I'm gonna eat in. Do I want some fake orange juice? Yes, I do. We go down here and we scan. There's my order. This is not really like big city China or big city anywhere. Most of this city of 9 million people, it looks like this here. There, like I said, it is growing rapidly because Huawei is moving into town, and there is a city center which, you know, looks like a decent sized city, but it's a very compact, small area considering the size of this city. And it's essentially all like this. Rapid construction going on here. Everywhere you look. Oh, I just hit a cement island. There's so much construction. There's just these random islands of dried cement all over the roads here, and you'll just randomly smash them and they'll just jar your reality. But there it is, my school. But I'll come back. The reason I actually came out here was not to show you the school. The reason I came all the way here was to get a fix on my scooter. I actually have the two scooters I showed you. A teacher just left the school on sabbatical and he gave me his scooter, so I dropped one of these canopies on there. I'm fixing up a bunch of things that just need to be touched up, and it's so inexpensive to get things fixed here. This guy, the other day, fixed the front tray there. He fixed some brake problem, and he actually installed that canopy for me because I don't have tools. And he and his wife spent like 3 or 4 hours doing that. It cost me 30 RMB, and 30 RMB is about $3.50. Now the reason why I'm walking up here is, if you remember the story that I told you, to remember that rip in my, oh my gosh. I had to step inside here because it's so windy out. So I told you to remember that rip in my scooter canopy on the other one back home. Well, this intersection right here, this guy was going up this street here, which is really the wrong way that he's supposed to be going, and he and I kind of semi-collided briefly, like our handlebars touched, and I think he thought that I was trying to run him off the road or something. I don't know what triggered him. This old Chinese guy, I say old, maybe like he looked like he was in his mid-50s. So I start coming down this street here, just going home, and as I reach this area right here, right along here, I feel the canopy on my scooter just start to go back. He had grabbed it from behind. He caught up to me, grabbed my canopy, and was trying to rip me down off of my bike. But what ended up happening is he started to lose his balance right around that intersection, and his bike started going like this, and he just bit it big time, and he did like hockey style fall down on the ice. His body was sprawled out all over the road, and he's just spinning. His bike pieces came all the way down here. And I noticed when he got up next to me when he was pulling on me, and I'm like, what the heck is going on here? He had an electric saw on his bikes. So even though I saw him fall off here, I just kept on riding because I didn't feel like going back and have this guy try to hack me up on the road because he was mad at me. And it was really such a small little incident, and it was really misunderstood, but man, did it make him mad. Got a little fix-it shop here, little body shop right next to this guy. This guy's a hard-working dog right here. Good? Okay. All right, now I gotta go back out and go to the post office. And I'm in my elevator right now. But the reason for me going to the post office is I have to return this package here. And basically these are, if you notice in my latest vlog that I kind of put some lighting in the room there, and I did like a DIY style. The track lighting, those are actually night lights, not actual track lights, and they're magnetically held to the ceiling so I don't have to drill any holes. But the ones that I ordered were the ones that turn on by your by motion. They're motion sensors, and I want ones that stay on permanently. So I got those, and then I gotta send these back. That's the short story. But I'm not going to take this scooter here because it's charging, and it takes 12 hours to charge. So for this trip, we're going to go over here to the old calloused, weathered clunker, the one that I got like two and a half years ago or something like that. And we're going to take a trip there. I don't know if you can see it, but I got little paw prints on here. These little cats are sleeping on my seat. Now this bad boy's got a little bit better visibility than the other one. This canopy sits a little bit higher, and it's just a bigger bike, so it's actually a little better for me. But the other one is great too, and it was free, and if it's free, it's for me. This is the original school. It was like a temporary location as they were building the one that you just saw earlier. That's the permanent. Grades 1 through 12 are in that school. But we all used to be here. The school is only 3 or 4 years old, so it was small at this time, and we were all cramped in here. That over there is the cafeteria, that's the gymnasium, and the building right after that was the school. Everyone fit in there. There were maybe, I don't know, 150 to 200 students when I got here. And it has since changed, and we all moved up to the new place because they have rapidly increased their enrollment, and now they still use this, but it's for kindergarten, pre-K, and like infant care, I think it is. Lots of students here. The school up that I'm at has a capacity of 2,000 that they want to fill, and the kindergarten here, I don't know how many. There's several hundred here, if not close to 1,000. I'm at the post office now. You can see it says China Post, Postal Savings Bank. Another box, 有吗? New box. 没关系。哦，1306612Oh, okay.
Your passport?
Oh no, I don't have my passport.
No.
I have a picture.
No, no. Is it a camera?
Hmm.
No.
Well, I just got rejected because I cannot send something back. I cannot use the mail service here in China without my passport. So now I gotta go back home, get my passport. But these are just some of the prices that you have to pay to live in China. I'm physically here, I've got a visa, but I can't send something in the mail. So I'm gonna have to come back there. But while I'm here, I'll just go to the supermarket because I gotta pick up a couple things. Eggs and cheese. But since I'm here, I have to show my code again. I've taken a picture of this QR code, and basically what happens, it scans it and it brings up my current health status, which takes into consideration if I've gotten the most recent COVID test, if I've passed through what's been deemed a high-risk location. It'll show up on this current report, and so I got to show this whenever I go into like a supermarket, or recently it's gotten a little tighter here, so I have to show it almost everywhere. Take my temperature. All right, so let me show you what a supermarket looks like. Essentially, looks like any supermarket. We've got bread. Tastes like fresh baked bread. Okay, produce department. This is actually a nice little supermarket. It used to be right next to where I live, but whenever I'm in this area, I come by here, and they have a good selection of stuff here. As you can imagine, the meats and whatnot are very limited. This would be like some of the processed meats that you can get here. I thought she was yelling at me. But you can get kimchi. They do like kimchi here. And cheese is very difficult to come by unless you find an importer in town, and then it's going to be very expensive. But I usually just get these cheese slices here. Whoops. Which I just use for making a cheese omelet or something like that, or late at night. I just, instead of wolfing down a meal, I'll just eat a slice of cheese to put something and coat my stomach. Dairy. And then I come over here for a big old batch of eggs. All right? Eggs. Well, let me show you here. Here you've got the gigantic carrots. Now I used to buy these quite frequently because I like to make, I have a juicer. And so I take carrots and an apple and I just throw it in there. Which doesn't sound like a bad idea right now. Roots, fungus, and the whatnot. Some pastas over here. I wouldn't really say it's pasta. Those are like noodles, which technically are pasta. But different types of eggs, quail eggs and whatnot in that section there. This is the spooky, misty section. and I'm getting kind of afraid right now, but different types of greens through here. So you got a really good assortment here. You can definitely make it by. But in my case, since the school feeds us 3 meals a day, I do very little cooking. If I do anything, I'll I'll just order out like a salad or something. But I just thought I'd show you what the inside of one of these places looks like. Now Spar is kind of like the main supermarket chain in this area. It's actually the only one that stands out in my mind as an actual chain. But there is a big one that was over by that McDonald's, Maidanglao, that probably about twice the size of this. So it's a good selection in that other place. But essentially, you can get all the essentials here. Essentially, you can get the essentials. Can you catch that? All right, little kids snacks and whatnot here. Sausages. These are like little canned meat type thingies in here, little snacks. Little sausages. Okay. And they have these little Jello cups that I'm trying to look for right now, but I can't seem to find them. Well, I won't show you everything that's in here, but you get the idea. It's just like any supermarket that you might be to back home, except the products are geared toward the local folk that live in this country and what they like to eat. Even peanut M&Ms once in a while. Okay? And I remember eating these biscuits in Korea, except they were called, what were they called? I forget what they were called. Also, a little bit different than what you're accustomed to back home. Maybe not everything is the same, but you've got all these little packaged, preserved meats that you can chomp on, including a chicken wing that is sealed, air sealed, wrapped, and you can just pop one of those things open and gnaw on it whilst you're bored, including chicken feet. Okay? So if you ever have a hankering for some chicken feet, you can get them to go. Here, I just wanted to give you a little glimpse. Chinese supermarkets also have these open vats of rice, different beans, lentils, and things like that. Also, fungus, mushrooms, dried greens, which also, I don't know if that's the exact kind, but you can find those in Haejanguk in Korea, which is one of my favorite dishes. And I do miss it. All right? Of course, noodles. Buldak ramyeon. Remember these things, the big fad that was going on about 5 years ago? Everyone was eating them and choking on them because they didn't realize how hot they were. Well, there they are. They're actually kind of disgusting because they don't really have a flavor. It's just noodles with super hot red pepper on it. It doesn't really have a flavor. You're just eating heat. I gotta tell you, it's kind of nice coming to the supermarket without 50 million people bumping into you. This is one of the joys of being on vacation as a teacher. You get a lot of time off. All right. This section might interest you. It's ice cream. Ice cream. All the different kinds of... These are kind of like the ones you would buy at a convenience store. Russian style pure taste milk ice cream. I'll have to try that sometime. Okay. Okay. Chicken. I used to get the chicken breast because a chicken breast, for some reason, in Japan and China, it's very cheap to get chicken breast, cheaper than back home. I'm not sure exactly why. Maybe there's a lower demand for it than the darker meat. I think that might be part of the reason. I think they deem the darker meat as more healthy, which there is an argument for that. There's an argument for both sides. They got a little place you can go fishing over there. Imagine that. I didn't bring my fishing gear though. Oh well, next time. I'm gonna come over here to the self-checkout. And of course, I bring my own bag because I'm trying not to put extra plastic into the environment. Passport. All right, let's do this for one last time. Done. You live and learn. You gotta have your passport. That's one of the things. You gotta have your passport to do a lot of what you would consider minor things here in China. And that's just one of the things you gotta get used to. But I succeeded at it, at the task. I think I'm gonna go over there and grab a bite to eat. Okay, I have been served, and let me just show you this place here. This is just like a fast food type of, not fast food, but it's like a chain type of restaurant. Quick food on the go, but it's a decent meal. And here it is. In this dish we've got mi fan, rice, some broth there. Here is some cooked cabbage and this beef stew. It's kind of like what it is. And there's a delivery guy right there, and he's looking at me. This is actually chicken soup in there at the bottom. I didn't realize that. Beef and onions. So I'm just gonna take a big scoop of this. Oops. Get some of the onions in there. Bon appetit. Kind of reminds me of a beef bowl in Japan. This costs about $5.50, which is good enough. It's a meal, and I knew that I needed to eat because after coming out of the post office, I was starting to get angry. That's because I was hangry. Starting to get irritated because I hadn't eaten for a while. So now that that's all taken care of and I'm eating, it's all good in the hood. The broth of this cabbage tastes just like the wasabi and soy sauce that when you're eating sushi. That's what the flavor is. Yeah, like wasabi. It's hot. Just stretching out here a little bit, getting ready to go for a little run around this lake here. I'll show you some pictures of it. I usually come out here. I do have a gym membership, but usually I'll run on the treadmill there because it just gets too hot here. And but today is actually kind of pleasant, so I'm going to do a little run around here, and it is my vacation, so I'm going to take advantage of it. I'm going to go down on this secondary path. The reason why I like to come out here to exercise as opposed to running on a treadmill inside, it's probably the same reason why you would want to. It's good for the brain. The school that I work for right now is a startup company. And the city that I live in, not the most exciting place. You kind of be creative and you make the most of it. But because it's a startup company that went from 0 students to maybe 1,500 to 2,000 total in 3 years, 4 years, you're going to have some serious drama and stress going on at the school. And then when you go home, as you know, or as you may not know, there isn't any place for me to kind of build camaraderie. For example, there are no judo places. I can't let off the steam. I can't build friendships in the judo halls, which are typically sincere friendships. Churches here are monitored closely. I don't think they can get too big. I think that's the thing. So, in this city, it's almost impossible. It's not almost impossible. I haven't been able to find a church group. A church. There's a lot of Christians here in China. A lot of Chinese Christians. They're covert. And there's also some Christians at the school. Both Chinese and foreigners. And we'll meet every once in a while. They meet every week. I haven't met with them lately, but I just miss having a place to go and worship. That'd be nice to have. So, in lieu of that, I try to come out here to run around this lake. It's about 4.2 kilometers. So here's a glimpse of the lake. There's a small part of it. And there's this path that I'm running on that you can walk on, run on, take your scooter on like these very loud ladies. At nighttime it's really nice. All these street lights come on and it's very relaxing. Taking a little detour here to show you this little man-made pond. They renovated in here last year or two. They have these little ponds that are made here that moms and dads can come with their kids and fish in. They stock them with fish. I think you pay by the hour or something like that. And you go in there and you fish. I don't think that's one of them. I think they're just trying to populate it with the lilies. Made it to the other side. It's actually hot out today. That's where it all started. I think he's got a better idea than I do. Here's one of the little workout stations. This is the one that I use because it's got this chin-up bar here. Chin-ups. There's a soccer field. Football field for my non-American friends. And I've come through here sometimes and I've actually seen my students here. Meet the kids! And I say, get away from me! 5 days a week, that's all you get. Okay, it is that time of the day. It's time to eat some dinner. And like I've mentioned before, the school that I'm at provides 3 meals a day, but many times, most days, I don't stay for dinner. I just kind of want to go home. And so I end up ordering through this food ordering service app, and it's called Meituan. So when I click on it, it brings up all of the restaurants that are in your vicinity, where the delivery guys are okay with bringing it to you. If you're too far away, they might not deliver to you. So I just click here on the food, and you have all the different categories. If you want to kind of drill down, so I do know what I want today, and these are the 2 salad places that I order from because I'm going to get a salad today because I'm working out tomorrow. And this place is pretty good, and this is why. And this is how you get around. Look, I'm trying to learn how to speak a little bit of Chinese. I failed at the post office, obviously. But it takes a long time, especially when you're working full-time and you're tired and all that. But the good news is that on this app, if I just press on it, I can bring up these selections and then just translate it. And this one says that there's chicken breast and duck breast, vegetable salad, reduced fat meal. Boom. So that gives me an idea of what it is. This is basically what it's going to look like. You get some pasta. I think they throw some fruit in there, which, you know, I'm not a big fan of fruit in my salad, but I just take it out. And that's basically what you're looking at. Now, when I bring this up, I say, oh, I don't know what any of this stuff means. So the way I get around that is I'm going to scroll like this, and then I take a screenshot. Boom. And then I go over to this translation app, and it takes a while for this to come up. I go in here, I find the image that I took a picture of, judo pictures, and then basically just swipe across like this on anything that you're trying to get a translation for, and then you hit translate. I'm going to get this count smoke, which is the first one, and then down here are the different sides and whatnot. And so I have to look really closely at the characters there to find out where it starts, so I can see that the first one is noodles. You can get sweet potato. They have these purple yams, sweet potato type things. And then this seaweed tricolor rice, and it's basically color, I don't know what kind of rice it is actually. It's kind of purplish in color, and they put these seaweed flakes that are very common. They use it as seasoning. The seaweed actually has seasoning on it. It's very popular in Japan, so that's what I usually like to get. And as you can see, it's going to be that second choice. So that's how I do it. It's the first choice, second choice. So let's go back to the top. The first one. And then I'm getting the tricolor rice with the seaweed. Now the good thing that I like about this place is I can scroll down, and I always add some broccoli and some kidney beans. Boom. Then it verifies your order. place the order. Okay, now here's the little guy. He popped up. He's the delivery guy. He has taken my order. You can see here I am right there. And I'm gonna be able to track him until he comes all the way down here. And because we have a little bit of a strict situation right now with the pandemic, they are not allowed to come to our door at this time. So when he gets downstairs, he leaves it there, and I just go pick it up, or I just go meet him downstairs and I grab it. It has arrived. Here is the salad, and it came just like I wanted. Here's the chicken and the duck. They got a few pieces of fruit in there. It comes with some broccoli, but I like to add some broccoli and the beans, and that's the side over there. Here's the rice that we ordered, and the seasoned seaweed on the top. And so there it is as it came. This is the sesame paste dressing that I really, really love. Anyway, I don't eat it like this. I'll show you. I kind of chop it up so that I can wolf it down. There it is, ready to be eaten. I've also added some sunflower seeds, but I chop everything up. I'm going to stir it up and then make it disappear. Here's the fruit. It's just a few little pieces of fruit, maybe just to wet your palate at the end. Watermelon, slice of orange. This is like a pear. These are real popular in Korea as well. These are teeny tiny little pieces of mango, and I swapped out. I put the broccoli and the beans in the salad, and then I put the rice in there. There it is. Say goodbye to this food because it's about to disappear. And this is how I do dinner on many nights. Here we go. We can always grow back. Philippians chapter 4, verse 8. Finally, brothers and sisters, whatever is true, whatever is noble, whatever is right, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is admirable, if anything is excellent or praiseworthy, think about such things. I know that in every situation I have a choice to see the promise or fall for the lie. I will make light of each challenge. And if I can't, I will focus on the big picture, the image of myself, which is one of spiritual health, closeness with God, a softer heart, more long-suffering, and more loving. This is God's will for my thought life.